Was good. Was good, everyone. So, damn. Yeah, I got the Himalayan, the salt lamp over there. And who, man, that fucking, if you guys can get you a fucking a Himalayan salt lamp, let me show you the box. These things are good. It's like it's a natural air purifier. And it makes it like you can feel like the calmness in the room. When I first got this, trillionaire. Yeah, you should get one. I just got me one a few days ago. This thing is like I had one before I moved out here, but I had left it in the storage. So we still got to get shit in the storage. I'm probably gonna end up having to get rid of a lot of shit in there. I have a lot of shit in there that I can easily sell on eBay, but I'm gonna end up having to get rid of it because it's like all the way in California. I don't feel like shipping it out here, and it's like I wish when I was out there I sold it because I had my Himalayan sea salt, so I had to buy another one. I also had a heater and I had a whole bunch of other shit, but yeah, I got one of these, man, and I just realized how good this is because I haven't used it in a long time. And I woke up the first night I got it a few nights ago, and then when I woke up, I could just feel like the air is more clear. I can breathe more, and I feel more like relaxed. Like it's like I'm in a trance. Like this thing is because what it does, it purifies the air and it promotes negative ions. So when you're outside, that's negative ions. When you get that feeling of being outside in fresh air, it promotes that indoors and it purifies the air. So get you one of these Himalayan sea salt lamps. They really good. They're not even expensive. They're like the one I got was $35.99. It was actually 40 something, but I got it on Black Friday deal. So you might be able to still get it on the Black Friday deal because I think they have like that Cyber Monday shit. So, and then they got cheaper ones. This is like a bigger one. That's why it was more expensive because it was like the bigger one. But they got like smaller ones that are still good. But if you guys can get one, and yeah, I want to just talk about. Somebody said, yeah, I believe in the power of crystals, but I also believe in the power of actual like action. Like a crystal is not gonna give me the ability to pick this box up and throw it in the bed. I have to do that myself. So a crystal can only work with what you're doing. Crystals, they're good only for like this is why you have a lot of people in the spiritual community who have crystals, but yet they still have a name tag at Burger King, and their name is Seshmun Ra Mayat. And then they think that they're somebody special, but then they still got that name tag. It's because like they're not doing nothing. They just have crystals. They just have a fucking Egyptian name. They're not doing nothing. So action is always going to supersede anything. But once you have the action on point, then crystals and other things you could start dabbling with. But if you're not trying to do nothing in life, don't even waste your fucking time with anything crystals, ritual, or any of that. Because there's no ritual, there's no crystal that's going to help you get the motivation to get off your fucking ass. And this leads me to what I want to speak about. Like we got to not we, but like motherfuckers got to stay away from people that are struggling. And when I say people that are struggling, I'm not talking about what they're actually struggling with. I'm talking about the mentality. So this can mean somebody who's struggling, somebody, let's just say they're complaining about money. Somebody who's broken, who doesn't have money, that doesn't give a fuck, they're not struggling. Somebody struggling is somebody who's broken, complaining about money, but they don't have it and they're complaining. So a struggling person is not what you're going through 99% of the time. It's how you're looking at what you're going through. Because somebody who's broke complaining about money, they're in a worse position than somebody who's broke who's not complaining about money. Because a person not complaining about money, if they're not complaining about money from the perspective of they know it's going to work out and they know what they need to do, so they don't give a fuck about money, they're going to be in a better position than the person complaining about money that's not doing shit, but all they can do is complain. You see what I'm saying? So stay away from people who complain because complaining about your struggle is actually worse than struggling and not even complaining. Because if you're not complaining about it, you ain't even struggling. So stay away from negative people who are struggling from that perspective. And I'm not saying like somebody who doesn't have something, you gotta. And most of the time, most people who don't have shit that deserve to be in that situation. Come on, dude. I might have to go outside. This is really annoying. Whatever. Most people that are struggling and complaining about their situation, they deserve to be in that situation. Otherwise, they wouldn't be struggling. You got to always look at it like anything you're going through is what you're meant to go through. Even when you see a lot of people on YouTube and they get a lot of hate, trolls, people want to say, well, they're hating on me because I'm doing something right. Not really. All the 99% of the time, when a motherfucker is being hated on, there's something wrong with them. And I'm not saying that the people hating on them, there's something right with them, because everybody's fucked up. The people hating on you and you being hated on, you're all fucked up because you're attracting those people. It's only like 1% of the time when you're being hated on where it's actually you're doing something right. And people try to confuse that with, oh, they're hating on me because they're jealous, or they're, no, motherfucker, you ain't shit. You're the people that are hating on you ain't shit, and you're not shit. That's why you guys are in the same force field. You're getting the same energy. So always look at it like that. Like motherfuckers attract who they are. So this is why I say you got to stay away from struggling people, because struggling people attract people that are haters. 99, because we're talking about 99% of the time. People who talk about, oh, haters, you don't have haters because you're not doing. No, that's not what it is. That's only 1% of people that get hated on, who actually is because of what they're doing, their influence, their spirit. Those are the people get hated on. 99% of people get hated on. They're only attracting what they are. So those people hating on them are like them. They're not shit. So you gotta always keep that in mind, because one thing this all ties in with the people struggling in life. One thing you guys gotta understand, like I'm realizing on YouTube, because I don't even watch YouTube anymore other than like funny retarded ass content, like that one page I listed is this homeless bitch, right? And she's like the so-called targeted individual. Like this is like the only shit I can watch that's entertaining. Like literally, I don't even watch YouTube for nothing other than like funny ass entertaining shit like that. Like this bitch said she's a targeted individual, and she's like, oh, I get all these haters and they're hating on me, and I was like, bitch, the reason they're hating on you is because they're you ain't shit like them. Because if you look at this bitch, right, she all she does is beg for money all day. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with begging for money, whatever, but it's like this bitch will beg for like $300, and then, and I don't even know if I think well, I don't even want to get into that. That's a whole other topic. But this bitch will beg for $300 and then get $300 and spend it on a fucking hotel, and then be in the hotel for like 7 hours, and then leave the hotel and then check out and then ask for money the next day. And this bitch would do this every fucking day. And then she'll be on, like, the last couple months, this bitch hasn't even been able to get the money because she's been homeless nobody's giving her no more money because people were giving her hella money. So all of a sudden she's like, well, why are these people hating on you? And it's like, the people hating on you are the people who are donating to you, dumb bitch. Because like, you could, well, I don't even want to get into that, but this is just ridiculous. Stay away from struggling people. I don't really want to get to it because it's really not important. But like, this shit is just fucking hilarious. Like when you see actual people out here struggling and going through it, I don't even feel sorry for motherfuckers no more. Is because like they deserve everything they get. I don't want to give you too much attention to it, but what type of rituals do you do? I don't know why you guys always ask about spiritual shit. I don't ask me about no spiritual shit. Shout out to Trillionaire. Like I don't want to talk about nothing spiritual. Don't talk to me about no spiritual shit. Like I don't get me wrong. Like I fuck with you and I'm cool, but I'm not in the mood for no spiritual shit. Like we're at a time right now where anything spiritual we're supposed to be practicing in our life. There's nothing to talk about. What already is known doesn't need to be explained. So we already know about rituals. We know about, it's not rocket science. People want to know something that they think is supposed to be something that they don't know. Like, you know what you need to do. It's not complicated. Start implementing in your life. When you implement the shit in your life, then when you see the results, you're not going to be asking no more questions about spirituality. People like to ask about, I'm not saying this is you. Shout out to you. I don't know your situation, but most people who like to ask about spirituality on the internet and research it are people who aren't getting actual results from spirituality. Because if you were, you'll be actually, because it's like you get money. Let me give you an example. You get money to buy items. If somebody's complaining about money and not having money, when they don't have money, they're going to be thinking about money. But when they get money, they're not going to be thinking about money. They're going to be thinking about what they can buy with the money and enjoying the things that they buy. You see what I'm saying? So somebody who doesn't have money is going to be thinking more about the money, not just what they can buy with it. Because if you had the money, you wouldn't be thinking about the money. You'd be thinking about what you can buy with it and enjoying the things you bought with it. So same with spirituality. Like if you're always having to talk about it, research it, it means you must not be benefiting it. You must not be getting the benefits of it in real life, because you'll be actually living life and doing it in person. Like that's why I don't like. I'm actually at this point in time, people who talk too much about spirituality, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with talking about. Like if you're gonna talk about it, it should be okay. I'm going to talk about this about spirituality, and the next sentence, what are we going to go do physically to actually bring something into reality to match the spirituality? If it's nothing about that, I don't want to hear. I can care about chakras or what rituals or what crystals. Like that's something that you do in your own personal life, and you're supposed to implement it. And as a result of you doing that, you're going to start seeing things in your life happen, and those things that are happening, that's what you talk about. So let's just say you're trying to you're trying to bring something to existence that's physical. You use spirituality to get that going, and the thing you get, that's what you talk about. So let's just say you're able to go. I don't even want to say anything physical, because nothing is that important physical. There's nothing important that's physical that I even want to say, because it's going to make it look like I give a fuck about this thing and I don't care about it. You guys know what I'm talking about, though. Like whatever is that you get from what you're doing internally, that's what you should at least be focusing on and talking about and living your life. It's not that fucking serious. It's not that deep. It can be that deep if you want it to be. But when I'm talking about it ain't that serious, it ain't that deep, it's not that serious from a perspective of what do you need to do to get to where you need to get to in life. That's all you need to know. Anything else, you're just using it as a cope. And I hate that word cope, because that word cope should not even exist in anybody's vocabulary. Because cope means that you have a problem and you're not getting rid of that problem. So I don't even want to even say that. Like it should be like you guys know what you guys need to do at the end of the day. It's not. I don't want to act like this is like first grade and this is like we're back in 2013 and Infinite Water stupid nigger channel is. That's why his channel isn't even popping anymore, because nobody is really onto that shit. And anybody who is into real spirituality, they're actually doing it in real life, and it's like secondhand nature at this point. But like it just like I'm trying to. I really don't like really want to go into all this spiritual shit really like that. Not to say that, because I don't. Like, and when I say that, I don't want to come off as I'm somebody who isn't spiritual. Like no, that's far from it. I'm a Pisces. Everything I do is damn near spiritual in life. Like when I'm analyzing people and things I go through in life, I'm always in that world and analyzing and getting signals. So it's not even like that. It's just I like to live my life. And like when you go to work, you don't want people to talk about work when you're at home chilling with the fucking the niggas in the hood and the streets, and you with your family. What you don't want to talk about work because you're not there. Like, why are we talking about that? And if you want to talk about spirituality, nigga, then that the physical is spiritual. If you really want to get technical, because if it wasn't, at that point, just fucking kill yourself. Like all these people like, oh, you get too lost in the physical. Well, if you don't want to get too lost in the physical, you don't want to get too lost in the spiritual. Because just like you're in the physical world and you don't want to be too lost in the spiritual, when you're in the spiritual world, when you're not dead, or the non-physical world, you don't want to be lost too much in this world because you're going to be clean. You see what I'm saying? Like you don't want to get lost in anywhere, and this it's all one world, really. I feel Cap. Yeah. Much respect. I had your video playing on the night. Oh damn. Damn, yeah, man. Good thing you're safe. Yeah, that's not a good experience. You don't want to go through those, but some of those experiences we have, even though they're horrible experiences, and I've been through some. I've been through one myself, and yeah, those are times where like you're supposed to like. Sometimes those things are needed in life. What we need to go through near death experiences, but I'm good. It's good that you're doing good and you made it through that, and you're hopefully you're able to learn a lot from that and be a different person after that experience, so you can not allow those experiences to happen again. Or if they do happen again, it's like it's not because of a mistake. It's because of just this shit happens. Because in life things can happen. Was good with it. Was good with everyone, man. Yeah, I want to just make this video talking about. I'm talking about Q, and you can ask me any question. Just I'm just really not into like I'm at a point right now where, and the reason why I said I don't want to hear nothing about spirituality because like when I'm on this, when I'm on social media and when I'm dealing with people or when I just observe, because I'm really an observer, really like I observe a lot of energies and shit. And I notice people who talk about spirituality the most are just lost. Like 99% of the spirituality that is talked about on the internet is just people coping with their suffering and their struggle. This is why I say stay away from struggling people, because struggling people are the first ones to find spirituality, are the first ones that, not to say people who aren't struggling are like in a good position, because they're not. A lot of them aren't, because a lot of people, the only reason they're not spiritual is because they think everything in their life is good, aka or keywords think. You can think something's good doesn't mean it's good, because you got people have a misperception of what good is. Somebody can say I have a lot of money, I got a lot of, oh, I'm happy, I'm at peace, but like that doesn't mean it's good. There's people who like like there's a lady who got caught with it was a multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin scam. She was in China, and I guess they caught her. They raided her room. I bet you a week before they raided her room, she probably thought she was living good. She had $1 billion, $5 billion in Bitcoin. She was living in a 20,000 a month fucking penthouse in UK. She probably thought her life was good. She probably felt good. She probably had money and was feeling good, happy, going on vacation. But look at her, shit came crumbling because she wasn't really in a good space. Otherwise, that shit wouldn't have happened. You see what I'm saying? And even if she was more in tune, she would have known to stop her, known to stop while she was ahead. But obviously, she wasn't. So what you think is good doesn't mean it's always good. So when I say people struggling, don't look at it like it's a bad or a good thing, because sometimes you need to struggle to get to where you're at. But when you're struggling for too long, that's a problem. You're not supposed to struggle that long. You're not even supposed to struggle really. Like if you do struggle, it shouldn't even be more than like probably a year. Usually when you're struggling for years at a time, it's either because you didn't do something right, or you're doing the wrong thing, or you got some karma from a past life where you fucked up. So even in this life, even if you do everything right, it's like it's still going to be a lot of problems for you because you fucked up last life. So you can be like doing everything right, but there's still problems. So that's why you're not supposed to struggle that long in life. A lot of people like they don't get that. That's why I say stay away from struggling, because struggling people are the first ones to find spirituality. They're the first ones to go into, like they say, if you're scared, go to church. That's not really, you're not supposed to be, when you're scared, go to church. You're supposed to, first of all, fuck church. Church is all bullshit. But I'm talking about like finding divinity or finding your own spirituality. Let's just say that. You're not supposed to be scared when you find it. You're not supposed to even be struggling when you find it. You're supposed to automatically have it in any time when you're just in neutral position. But most people have been trained to find that. So when people are struggling, when they find it, when people find spirituality and they're struggling, what this leads to is people coping. So nobody ever uses spirituality for actual um, what it's really meant to be. They just use it to cope. So now you have a lot of Egyptian people with all of these crystals and these copper wire around their nappy ass dreads, and they have a name tag at Burger King for like 10 years, and then like they think they're like somebody special and they're a chosen one. It's like it's because of that. They're just coping with their shitty situation, because people who are struggling for a long period of time, what they all have in common is they they want to achieve something that they can't achieve doing what they're doing. And any time where they have to actually change what they're doing to achieve what they want, the thing they have to change, they don't want to change. So they're stuck in a rut. So this is why you see like 99% of people on the internet that are struggling. It's not that something is holding them back. It's more so as whatever they need to do to get where they're at, they don't want to do because it's either too hard or it's too takes too much discipline. It's not fun. They're gonna have to probably spend a year or two buckling down and being disciplined and sacrificing a lot of desires, eat different, change different, even all the way down to your diet. Like a lot of people, the reason they're not able to be where they want is because of their diet. So the spirit's like, okay, if you can't sacrifice pleasure in your taste buds or sacrifice indulging in this desire for like a year or 2 years, I'm not going to get you what you want. So like this is where it like when you see somebody who's actually successful, it's very few. And then you're like, how the fuck did they get that? And you think, and then people start hating, oh, they got lucky. But it's like you don't know what this person did behind closed doors that you didn't do. When you were having fun and going out and doing things and indulging, they probably sacrificed certain things. But you're thinking like, oh, their family did this or they got lucky. Whereas no, they got lucky as in they had the mentality to give up something that you don't want to give up. They were able to deny their desires on certain things. So like that's what it is for the most case. That's why I say stay away from struggling people. The most struggling people, they're in a rut. So when you see a person struggling, especially when you see people on social media and they're complaining about just anything and everything, not to say that they don't have problems, because look at my video. I already say the system is against you, but the system ain't that powerful to make you fail at life. But the way it's going right now, it's got to look like the system is fucking people over, but really people are shooting themselves in the foot. You see what I'm saying? So you guys is why I say stay away from struggling people, because they're gonna just bring you down and they're gonna make it look like everything else is a problem but them. This is why when you talk to these people, it's always somebody did this, somebody did that. And don't get me wrong, like people do fucked up shit. And I'm not saying nobody did anything to you, but I'm saying just because they did something to you doesn't mean you can't overcome that. You get what I'm saying? So like you always gotta look at it from that perspective. And then you'll notice these people, when you actually speak like that, they look at you like you're the agent, like you're somebody who's attacking them. So this is why I say just stay the fuck away from people that are struggling, because they're the first ones to find spirituality. They're the first ones to find Jesus or find God. They want to pray to God. I remember this one motherfucker, he's all talking about how I prayed to God. Well, I don't even really want to get into this shit because I'm not trying to give any energy, but pretty much he was like, oh, I went and I asked God for a wish, or they call it a prayer. It's technically a fucking wish, because that's the only time they'll go and ask is when they need something, but they're never ever willing to do what they need. Hold on. So the motherfucker was like, oh, I went and asked God for this wish. And I was like, if a God didn't give me this wish, I was not going to believe in God no more. But then God gave me the wish, or God answered my prayer. So I started believing in him. And like when this motherfucker said that, and when you look at what it was that he asked for, it wasn't even nothing that was important. And it wasn't like, no, it wasn't even something that was important or something you couldn't get on your own. It was something so meaningless and so simple to get that it's like you got that because it was nothing. So like and then a person like that, you want me to make it look like that? How am I supposed to take religion seriously when you have a lot of people in religion, and the only reason they're in religion is because they're struggling? Like every person I see, especially in 2025, when you see like 99% of people who are into religion, you'll notice that they're only in it to get something out of it. When they're into spirituality, they're in it. Oh, I want to manifest a car. I'm trying to manifest my life. I'm trying to manifest. It's never about like getting to know who they are. It's always about they want to manifest something. So this is, I say, this is a struggling person. You don't want to be around these people because these people will bring you down. He's like, indeed, I saw this world merge with the other world. Yeah, but And it's not even just religion, it's spirituality struggling people are into too. Like most people who are into spirituality now are struggling and they're just lost. So they're looking for like a coping mechanism. That's why I said I don't talk to me about that spiritual shit. Because when I see a person on the internet talking too much spiritual, I automatically assume like I'm not saying it is, but I assume that this person is struggling and they're going through a lot of problems and they're batshit crazy. Like there's this one tarot card bitch I seen. She came on my fucking feed. It's a Nigerian girl. Well, she's Nigerian, but she like grew up in America. So you can't really tell she's Nigerian unless she told you. But she says she was Nigerian. So I was looking and I was reading it like this bitch is fucking crazy. Like she just talking hella like just talking all this like nonsense. And I'm not saying like I'm not saying people because I can give a fuck what you say, but the way she was speaking was somebody who like you can tell she was using her tarot cards for coping and her mental illness. That's why like any female I see with a tarot deck, I run far away from. Like I run far away from. Not to say that tarot read, because I even look at it like if you're a female and you're into tarot card reading, the only time I could actually have respect for you is if you're doing something in life related to the tarot card reading. Like you're using your tarot card. Like how are you tarot card reader and you're having relationship issues, financial issues? And I'm not saying you have to be rich. I'm not saying that because when I say you're having financial issues, from my perspective, I'm not saying you have to be rich. I'm saying financial issues from a perspective of it's not an issue. So you can not have money and not have financial issues. You get what I'm saying? You can be broke. You can be so-called broke and not have financial issues because you're focused on something in life that will eventually bring you finances. So I don't when I say financial issues, I'm talking about somebody who doesn't have money and they're complaining about it. Because if you don't have money, a mature spirit will be like, okay, if I don't have money, then that means at this point money isn't important to me because the spirit is only going to give me what's important in my life at the moment. So if I don't have money right now, money is not my fucking problem. And if it is my problem, there's something I can do now that does not take money that I can do and it can bring me money. Because even somebody who's a millionaire, somebody's like, well, I need a million. Let's say somebody who's a millionaire. Before, if you see somebody that's a millionaire, they did something to get $1 million. They did something to get $1 million. They didn't just get $1 million because they were always rich or they always had money. At one point, they didn't have money. So when they didn't have money, they did something that didn't take money to make money. Even when they say it takes money to make money, that's bullshit. That's a lie. To a degree, it takes money to make money. But at one point, you have to not have money to actually go get some money to use that money to make more money. So it always is, you're always going to be in a position before you even become anything. And this is just beyond money. You use your mind. The first thing is your mind and how you think. You use that and your mind will start making you do actions to do certain things that will lead to one thing to another, and eventually you will get money, and then you use that, and then you start off. A millionaire obviously didn't have $1 million at one point. A millionaire didn't even have a penny at one point, but they were doing something that didn't take money, and whatever they were doing that didn't take money led them to have $1 here, $5 here, $10 here, and eventually they were able to build up. But like I said, you only have what you need. So when I see somebody struggling about finances, complaining about this and that, and they're complaining about it like that's gonna solve their problem. This is somebody who's damaged. This is somebody who's probably trying to get into spirituality to manifest. I want to manifest a car. I remember this bitch said something about I'm trying to manifest a fucking relationship, or I'm trying to manifest a this job because I want to pass this interview. And then I'm like, if that's what you want, bitch, fucking spruce up your resume. Put it if you want that shit. If you want a relationship, go get some nice cologne and go to Foot Locker and learn some game. Like, what the fuck is all this other shit? Because if you want to talk about spirituality and it able to be able to do those things for you, like get you work and get you a relationship. Why don't you use spirituality to get your mind right, to be able to think a certain way? So all of those things, like, get it at the root cause. Why would you want to just get it at the end? Like, that's dumb as hell. I don't get it. If spirituality had the power to get you money, why would you use spirituality to get money? Why don't you use spirituality? If it can get you the power to get money, why don't you use spirituality to get your mind right? So therefore, none of that's a problem. And then by default, you'll be killing three birds with one stone by just doing one practice on getting your mind right. You see what I'm saying? Getting your mind right, then by default, all of those other issues will take care of itself. That's why I don't like anyone struggling. Stay away from these people. Anybody talking about struggling, stay away from these people. Don't be around them. I look at it as like, and then you'll notice as time goes on, people that are struggling, they're gonna be, um, they're gonna be, what's the word for it? They're gonna be in the mindset, in the mentality of, like, because the more you do something and it doesn't work, it causes you to go crazy. This is what they say: insanity is doing something over and over and it doesn't work. So when you see these people struggling, you'll notice, like I noticed people, especially in 2025 and currently right now where we're at, I'm noticing people that are in this struggle position, they're more in a crash out. They're more unstable mentally, even to the point where I don't even feel sorry for them no more. Like before, there was a point you used to feel sorry for people because we were in a different ship. Now we're at the end, and I don't mean the end of the world, but we're at the end of this system in terms of how people think, and the end of this so-called, if you want to call it matrix. We're at the end. So doesn't mean it's got to go, the matrix got to crash and everything's gonna, no, because it's life is still gonna go on. We're at the end, as in everyone is gonna, people, you're gonna start seeing a lot more people not be able to do what they wanted to do in life because we're at the end. So people are going to be stuck in their rut, and then therefore you're going to see more problems and more mental illness. Not because like what you guys think it is. Like everything has to do with you not doing what you were supposed to do. So now, like, all the opportunities you had, you're not going to be able to do it because we all came down here to be on a certain spiritual mission. We all came down here to do something, but there's a time limit. So if you don't do it within a certain period of time, your spiritual mission changes. So let's just say you're age 20, you had a spiritual mission to do A, and let's just say you didn't do it because you procrastinated. So by the time you're 30, that spiritual mission changed because certain opportunities that were supposed to happen, like at the age of 25, age 27, and you're supposed to meet this person, you're supposed to create this situation. A lot of that didn't happen because you procrastinated. So now you're at 30. Now your mission changed. So now you got to do something else. It's still going to be good, but you got to do something else. And then you don't get it done by then. You got to do something else. So by the time you're 50, your whole spiritual mission is not the same as it was when you were 20 because you don't have that same opportunity. Like, let's just say you're supposed to meet this female and you wanted a relationship. You're supposed to meet her at this time and this, but yet that person you were supposed to meet, maybe you didn't meet with them because you didn't do what you're supposed to do. So that person found somebody else. So now it's different. You meet some. So now you're 50. Like, your whole spiritual mission changed. So now you're getting to the age you're supposed to relax and rest. You can still manifest something great. And I'm not saying give up, but it's not going to be the same as when you're 20. So we're at a stage where we're getting to that time where a lot of opportunities are, like, I don't want to say gone, but it's we're at a different shift. So most people are like, it's too late for most people, especially people that are stuck in that rut because they've been doing the same thing. So the subconscious is programmed with what they were been doing. So they're stuck in a rut. So they're not going to change. There is a such thing as it's too late for you and you're not going to change. Some because the mind is so powerful, and if you don't use it for your own benefit, it's going to be used against you. So this can be an example of this is you not doing what you're supposed to be doing because you programmed your mind for so long. So in order to get out of your own mental cage, it's going to take so much work and so much effort. And you couldn't even get out of it when you were like 10, 15 years ago when you didn't even have that much resistance. So how the fuck do you think you're gonna get out of it now? And then we're in a different shift. So this is why I mean the matrix is coming to an end. A lot of people like they're going insane. So people, this is why I say stay the fuck away from people struggling, because the struggling man and woman now isn't like it was like in 20 years ago where you can kind of be a victim, because we were in the like, especially we were in Neptune, which is going into Pisces back in 2012, and then we were in a lot of feminine energy and shit. So it was okay to be a victim. Now it's like it's not okay to be a victim now. If you're not doing something, then it's gonna be looked at as, and it's even to children, even to kids. Like back then, they say, "Oh, you're a kid. You have your whole life ahead of you." That shit doesn't apply no more. If you're like 15 years old, you don't got your whole life ahead of you, because life is speeding up and we're in a different shift. So before you know it, 20 years is gonna go by, and then that 15-year-old is gonna be 30 something, or you see what I'm saying? So we're in it. It's not the same anymore. Ain't nobody have no fucking time to wait. At the end of the day, they're gonna be switching, and they're switching shit up. Like, why you think the system and the government's changing shit? Because everybody has to change shit. The reason the government's changing shit is not because they want to just they're doing it because they have to, because we're in a different shift. So the shit that was working before, it's not working anymore for the government. So if it's not working, they have to switch it. This is why they have to do Bitcoin, not because they just want to do Bitcoin. They're not just doing AI because AI is cool. They want to do AI. They have to do it because if they don't do this, and even the AI and the Bitcoin, that shit ain't gonna even fucking work. But it's gonna allow them to have more time in their system. So this is why they're releasing Bitcoin and AI and all this other digital. They're trying to digitalize IDs and everything. It's the reason why they're doing this is simply because we're in a shift and we all got to change. So if a government colonized, if a colonized piece of shit Jewish government, if they know they got to change and you got to change, this is something everyone has to do. It's affecting everything in the reality, not just, oh, they're not affected. This is why they have to change their shit. They even know that they got to change their shit. So if they know, nigga, you should fucking know even more, because who the fuck is they? They're dumb enough. They're so dumb, but they know they have to change. So that's why they're switching up their system. A lot of you niggas aren't even switching up. You guys don't grasp that you have to change because we in this fucking shit yet. Like, everything's got to change, from the government and their systems to the people to even the animals and shit. That's why some of these animals and shit got to go extinct. Eventually, it's going to get to a point where there's not going to be no trees. Like Spirit told me, there's not going to be no trees on this fucking planet. Probably in the next 300-400 years, like down the line, there's not going to be no trees. Like, literally, because it's going to be a different. And it's not like it's a bad thing. It's because eventually we're not going to even be in human bodies anymore. Like, this is a whole evolutionary thing. Eventually, if you don't, this is why you want to get it right in a human body, because eventually, as evolution goes on, you're just, the human body won't exist no more. It's gonna be something else. I don't know. It's gonna be just something else. Just like we have a roach, then you have bugs, and you have bacteria, then you have animals, then you have insects, and then you have human. It's gonna be something even greater that we're gonna evolve to next. It's gonna be better than human, and then you won't be able to even be incarnated in human, because there's only so many human experiences you have, and then you got to take the next form, and you want to get it right before you take that form, or it's just gonna be really fucked up. It's gonna be like you like a retard, like you see like a retarded person, like their spirit is in a human body, but it can't really use the human body like it wants, because it's not, it's like it doesn't connect. Like, you're gonna be retarded in like a, so it's gonna be a better human body than we have, or it's gonna be a different body, but you didn't do the work in the human body. So when you're in that body or in that type of thing, you're gonna be like a retard because you didn't do all the work here. But you're gonna have to go there because there's not gonna be no more humans. So, and it's not gonna be no more trees. It's gonna be a whole bunch of other shit, a bunch of animals that exist. Cause it's a whole. That's like down the line, like hundreds and thousands of years and shit. It's gonna be. That's like down the fucking line. So it's not. Don't look at it like this is something like it's gonna happen soon. Like, that's gonna be. But just know you're not. You can't be human forever. Like, this shit is always changing. He said they focus on everything but the main issue, which causes more coat. Yeah, they can't focus on the main issue, because the main issue is actually them actually having to sacrifice, do the work, be the discipline, and nobody wants to face that because it's not comfortable. like like people like to talk about the problem we have is because financial, economic. Not to say those aren't problems, but the main problem people have in society has is they want to be comfortable. Everybody's trying to be comfortable, even at the cost of their own. Even if it means they're suffering. So like everyone's just trying to be comfortable. Like even when you see everybody complaining about what the government is doing, it's simply just based upon they're not comfortable. So if they were in a situation where they were comfortable, but the government was still fucked up, you will see that a lot of those people complaining won't be complaining no more. Like the reason why Gen Z's complaining about the government is not from a moral perspective to actually better themselves. Most of them, not all, but most of them are complaining because they want a bunch of free shit, which I get it. But at the same time, it's like if the government gave free shit, like if the government gave like $20,000 in stimulus checks, most people that are complaining about the government would just shut the fuck up. And it'll be obvious. It'll be like there's no problem, even though there's still a problem. Like you still got a government that's in rulership, controlling how much money you get. That's a problem. So if most people got 20,000 stimulus from Donald Trump, then it would be no. A lot of people that you see complaining wouldn't be complaining. So it just shows you they're not complaining on anything based upon they're just not comfortable. So that's their problem. They'll sit there and act like, oh, it's the government, it's this and that. But as soon as the government does something to make them comfortable, they won't complain no more. That's why everybody's talking about how the 90s and the 80s was better. It's like, bitch, those the 80s and 90s weren't good. It was better than obviously these times, most definitely, because in terms of like the system, in terms of life in general, nigga, life's always been life. But we're talking about in terms of the system, obviously. But like if you're talking about you wish you could go back to the 80s, niggas was more enslaved. Because nigga, we're in 2025. So that would mean we're gonna be further back in this system. So like shit was just like, you see what I'm saying? Like, why would you want to go back there? So it just shows you people just want to be comfortable. Not to say the 90s and shit, it wasn't like from a system point of view, like the inflation wasn't bad, quality of goods within the shit was good, but it's like all those problems is like people can fix it themselves. Like even like everybody like even they'll even say stupid shit. Like I seen this thing on the internet. They said um computer RAM, there's a shortage of computer RAM and shit, and electronics are going to be more expensive as a result. But I'm thinking like if all of these people in America like video games and they like to make computers, why don't they teach people how to build their own RAM, build their own shit? Like why don't people in America like learn how to build their own shit? Like they'll teach you how to tell you how to build a PC and put it together, but then they don't teach people how to actually build their own RAM, create their own shit to solve that problem. If you like to play video games, learn how to make your own. But no, it's like people say, oh, the price is going to go up and they need to lower the price. And it's like, motherfucking people need to just learn how to do their own shit. People just want to be comfortable, like I said. And then you got this whole coping shit. Oh, I need to take the stress off, or I've been working all week, so I need to play my games. And nothing wrong playing games. I'm saying if you want to play games, okay. But if you're doing it, like if you're stressed out and you're doing it because you're stressed, then there's a reason you're stressed, motherfucker. You should never cope with nothing. There's cope should not even be in your definition, because the definition of cope means you're too much of a bitch. You're too incompetent. You're either too incompetent or too much of a bitch to get out your situation. So you have to cope with it. You have to live with a miserable, struggling situation and learn how to make yourself feel better. And at that point, you might as well just be a crackhead and just get high, because at least you feel good physically. At least you be fucking more zoned out. But what's the point of like? And even then, I don't condone that. But what's the point of coping by looking at spiritual videos? And like, what's the point? Like, you think because at that point you're just living a fucking lie. You believe, and that's why they have to promote a lot of this dumb shit. Like black people were the rulers and this and that, and black everybody comes from Africa and fucking what other shit did they say? Aliens are gonna come and destroy the government, and the government they're getting destroyed. But aliens, what the fuck does aliens have to do with it? And then they try to say there's aliens in the government. Like, no, the government is just a bunch of fucking human beings, a bunch of ugly, weak ass human beings. Like they have to make you think that there's somebody. Like the fuck, because it's all about coping. They focus on every. A lot of people I used to know seem more delusional. Seem more delusional, stuck in their ways. Yeah, I don't. I never. You said possibly due to trauma or them not willing to change. First of all, like you should never ever wonder why or give a fuck why somebody is a fucking idiot. If somebody's a fucking idiot, do not spend 1 second. Like me, when I talk to you guys, it may come off like I'm like, no, I'm just talking based upon like just because I'm making this video and what I say. But when my real life, I don't give. If somebody's a fucking idiot, I don't even spend 2 seconds on why somebody's a fucking idiot. You know why? It's because they don't even know why they're a fucking idiot. So how in the fuck can you know? And so that means it's not even important if they don't even have the decency. Because if they knew, they wouldn't be in that situation of being a fucking idiot. So they don't even know why they do the shit they do. Like a lot of dudes would be wondering, like, why do these girls like they're so narcissistic, or I'm dating this girl and she does this, and like, why would you even question? Just don't even be around the bitch. Like she doesn't even know why she's doing the way what she's doing. So don't even waste your time about with somebody like that. Like you shouldn't even be in a situation where you're dating a female. I'm not saying you shouldn't go out and try, but if you're dating a female and the bitch is not like in alignment with how you are, or not even just win, but just in relationship in general. It could be a friendship or relationship with a female. If the person's not thinking like you should not even be around them at all. You don't even try to change somebody. You don't even question it. Why are they like that? You don't do that because this is where you're wasting your vital life force, your vital energy. You're wasting your time on a piece of shit that doesn't deserve any of that from you. Like if anything, a person like that deserves like they, they deserve to get knocked the fuck out or cussed out. They deserve to get some type of hostile energy, if anything. And they should know that that energy that they're getting is something that they need to change. And if they don't know that, eventually the hostile energy is going to turn to something physical and aggressive, and then they're going to get slapped the fuck up or probably assaulted or injured or somewhere, or just cussed the fuck out. Like it's going to lead to somewhere, and then they're supposed to know that, okay, I'm getting too much of that energy. So this is why this is happening. Like I said, like they talk about all these people hating on me. And don't get me wrong, there are haters, and I'm not for people hating on other people, but most people that get hated on, like the spirit works in so many ways. Like there's so many people that they need to be hated on. Like that's what society doesn't tell you. They say, "Oh, these people are hating on me. These people are hating." There's only 1% of people that get hated on in life that don't deserve to get hated, and these are powerful spirits who are bringing a lot of influence, and their influence is is let's just say destroying the matrix. It's becoming a problem to the system. So therefore, they're getting hated on unjustly because of what they're doing. Anytime you're getting hated and you're not doing something to destroy some type of to destroy something, or like let's just say somebody be like, I'm just being myself and I'm being hated, it's because you're a piece of shit some way, shape, or form. That's what it is. If you're doing something internally or externally, you're destroying something internally or you're destroying something externally. Externally means you're destroying something that's hostile, that's against you. Internally means you're destroying a negative thought like depression, anxiety, mental illness. When you're destroying something internally or externally that's not for you, that's when you're going to get hate that is, I wouldn't say it's warranted because none of it's warranted, but it's it's more like it's a good thing. So when they say, "Oh, they hate me because they're not me," that's something like people say that 99% of people say that that doesn't apply to them, because these people, like, they're getting hated because they're a piece of shit. Like if I go out to fucking Walmart and I start cussing everybody the fuck out and everyone starts hating on me, am I gonna say they're hating on me? No, I just cussed everyone the fuck out. So you can't say that, oh, I'm getting hated on because they're not me and I'm doing something. Bitch, you ain't doing shit. You getting hated on because you're in that energy of the haters. You're in that energy. And that's a lot of the things I see now. Like you'll see a lot of people like they have YouTube channels, right? And they're like, all these trolls. But then when you look at these people, I'm like, you're just like the troll. Like the troll that's trolling you, you're like them. Like when you guys don't, this shit goes deep. Like when I see people, like even when I see people on like social media and they get a lot of trolls, like I will see a lot of similarities with the troll and the person who they're trolling. And I'm like, this is like it's like a spiritual thing. Like you attracted this person. And like there's something like you see when I like it is weird. It gets that fucking deep. I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to join. That's why I just stay away from negative people in general. Like I just don't even be around me, nigga. Just don't even be around me if you're struggling, because I don't. It's not even that. I say this as a narcissist or as somebody who's just being ignorant and I don't understand. I'm saying this for my own well-being because I don't want to attract that energy around me because there's certain things I'm doing in my life. If I'm around certain people, what I'm doing in my life isn't going to work anymore. There's certain things that I do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. If I were to be around certain people, that shit wouldn't work because a lot of people have negative energy. A lot of people have, let's just say it, bad luck. I don't want your bad luck. I don't want your bad energy around me because you're going to affect me. That's why I like, even when I get certain times, you don't even like to work with people. Like, whatever you're doing, you don't even want to work with certain people. Whatever you got going on. I don't even, it even gets to a point where I don't even want to, I wouldn't even steal certain shit for people. Because certain people, like let's just say I be going, there'll be times like I'll be going like to the store taking shit and they'd be like 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, and never, no issue, no problem. Some stupid ass motherfucker, homeless person, something like, oh, can you steal this for me? I go take it from him, it's a problem. Almost get caught up in shit. Or they'll end up seeing me or some shit. It's because that homeless person, he has a different energy. His energy, he probably has like a Saturn in Taurus. So any type of material thing he gets, it's like Saturn is fucking watching him. Like, oh, did you earn that? Did you get that fair and square? Or did you work hard for this? So he's probably in that type of energy. He probably has a Saturn and Taurus or some shit. See what I'm saying? So then I'm going up, getting some shit, and it's connected to his energy. So now that energy's gonna come to me because I'm doing something for somebody who does. So you can't just help anybody because some people don't deserve to be helped. You go and helps, you go get $1,000,000 and you go give $10,000 to the wrong person. The spirit's gonna take the rest of your 990,000, 990, $100,000, whatever the fuck. It's gonna take the rest of your money. You ain't gonna have shit because you helped that one person out that didn't deserve to get help. And I'm not saying don't help people, but you're supposed to be in alignment with self, worry about yourself. And then if you need to help, then you'll know what you need to do. But always worry about self first. And then as you worry about self, because you can't help anyone unless you help yourself. And I don't mean to be stingy saying, oh, don't help no one. I'm just saying you got to take care of yourself first. If you got something good going on, you got some good news, don't just tell everybody if you got good news, if you got something good going, because you got to understand other people's energy is not in alignment with your energy. They could be in a whole different frequency, or maybe they just have like whatever. But just stay the fuck away from struggling people. And how you can tell someone's struggling is there's many ways. Obviously, you can look at the. I don't want to just say because you can't look at somebody's situation and be like, oh, they're struggling because he's poor, or he's struggling because he has some fucking an old ass pair of shoes, or he looks like he's home. Like that's not how I look at struggling. There's different levels of struggle. There could be somebody who has money who's in a situation where society would make you think that they're in a good situation. They could be struggling. They're struggling mentally. There could be somebody who doesn't have shit and they're in a good situation. You see what I'm saying? So when I say somebody is struggling is somebody who they have a false sense of reality of what they can accomplish at the time at the space they're in. So you'll see somebody who, like I say, they're making it very simple. A fat ass who wants to lose weight but still keeps eating unhealthy. Somebody complaining how Like Gen Z, they'll complain how like not even Gen Z, but just people in general. They'll just complain about having financial issues, but then they work at Walmart, and then they'll be like, um, "Well, it's because of the system." And don't get me wrong, I get it, the system and shit, but at that point, like, what do you want? Is your problem not having money, or is your problem you want somebody to just give you all the money you want? Because if your problem is you want somebody to give you all the money you want, that will never happen. Or who the fuck said finances is your issue? Remember, I told you don't need money. The fact that you need money, like there's homeless people on the street who just they live off their social security, or they live off very meagerly, and they're happy. They're not worrying about what you're worrying. They're not looking at money the way you're looking at it. But yet there's somebody who pays rent, who works at McDonald's, who lives with their parents, who's complaining that they don't got money. So it's like obviously you have something wrong with your brain. It's nothing to do with the money. But then if you think it's to do with the money, bitch, go get some more money. If money's your problem, go get some more money, you stupid ass nigga. Then you say, well, it's the government, the system. Nigga, shut the fuck up. Like I get it. Like I hate to say this because I don't fuck with the system, and don't get me wrong. Like I hate the system, and I don't fuck with it. That's why I don't like really speak like this, because it makes it look like I'm like taking up for the system, and I'm not. It's like I just hate motherfuckers with not a solution. I don't care how fucked up something is. There's always a solution. And when I see somebody that's not talking about a solution, that's proactive about it, that's what gets me so mad. So fuck what the government's doing, but I know there's a solution to what the fuck is going on here. Like everyone complains about the finance and what the government's doing, but then they still pay taxes. If that's the case, why are motherfuckers still paying? Imagine if 1 million people just stopped paying taxes. That would put a huge dent into their tax money, and it will be so bad that the government will have to negotiate. Like they say, taxes is like, I don't know how much they charge for income tax, because I don't pay income tax. I haven't done that shit in like years, and when I did, it was only for a few months. So I don't know about taxes, but let's just say taxes is like at 10% for income tax. If 10 million, if 5 million people stopped paying taxes and said, I'm not going to work because I don't want to pay taxes, the government will have to negotiate and be like, okay, we want to get these people back to work. And since there's a lot of people, we have to get them back to work. So let's negotiate. We'll take it down to 3%. And then you pay less taxes, but you need more people. You need like a lot of people really to do that. That's why I say it's not even about, at this point, it's not about getting people together. It's about you getting your own shit in order and having your own community and doing your own thing. That's what it really is about. It's not really about, because the people are doomed. This country is done for. America's done. There's no hope for this land no more. And any type of prosperity, any type of um whatever you want to say, happiness, peace. Hold, give me a minute. Let me just say this real quick. Any type of happiness and any type of peace is going to be found within the individual and their community. So there's going to be no collective peace. Like America as a whole would never get better. This country's done for. And what's going to happen is, like, as time goes on, there's going to be a lot of people that are just going to fail with the system. And it's not going to be like the system is going to change and uh, people are going to just start going. What's going to happen is people are just going to grow old and die from not fulfilling what they want to fulfill. And since nobody's really having kids no more, most of the people having kids are in Africa and in Southeast Asia. That's why Nigeria has the youngest population. The average person in Nigeria is like in their early 20s, because they're having kids over there. So in the next decade, you're going to see more of places like Africa prosper more. And even like when you see China and shit, they're going to be doing a lot more business in Africa. So Africa is going to probably be like the new place, and like America is done. Like most Europeans and people in America in general, they're not having kids like that no more, because feminism ruined it. The white woman invented feminism. That's why within all the race of women, the white women have the most issues with their men. If you really look at it, if you don't have to believe me. The white women have the most issues with their own men. If you look at Asian women and their men, Indian men and their, any type, black men, black women, even though black women, they do have, black women and their men probably the second have problems with each other. But the European woman has the most problems with the European man. That's why feminism, all that. Remember, they have the picture with the woman dressed as a man with her. That's a white woman because they invented that shit. White women have the most issues with their own men. So they're not they're that's where they have the least birth rates, and the birth rate is declining. White European people, because they're not gonna be that many of them. That's why the average person in America is getting older, because less people are having kids in America. See what I'm saying? You go to countries like Africa. Don't believe me? Look it up. The average child, the average person in Africa, Nigeria, is 20 in their early 20s. The average age person here is probably, like, I would say, in their late 30s, and it's going to keep going up. Nobody's really having kids like that out here. And in about 30, 40 years, over like 60% of the population is going to be senior citizens. So that's going to fuck up, like, what's going to happen then, because there's going to be no Social Security, or Social Security is going to be hella fucked up, because you need young people working to pay into Social Security to pay the older people. Over 60% of people are going to be like senior citizens getting Social Security, and there's not going to be no kid between Gen Z or the younger Gen Alpha. They're not going to want to work, and you're going to have other people. There's not going to be enough of them to really, because look how many people are in the labor force right now, 2025. Even like 10 years ago, there's not going to be that many people in the labor force in the next 30, 40 years. See what I'm saying? And you say, oh, AI is only going to do so much. AI, somebody has to manage the AI. That's what they're not telling you. The AI can't do everything. That they want you to believe that, so they can kind of like make you like, it's just a lot. It's a bunch of lostness they want you to believe. Like, a lot of it is bullshit what they tell you about AI. Like, even when they say AI is going to take over the world, AI can't take. It's impossible for AI to take over the world unless somebody programs it to take over the world. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, if AI is going to take over the world, that means somebody had to program it to do that. If AI is going to make a music video, somebody had to program it to make a music video, and then somebody had to make up the concept of what a music video is. And AI can't do that. So the AI isn't going to replace all the jobs. And even when they do, it's just going to cut back a little bit of it. And there's going to be somebody having to manage the AI, charge it up, program it. And if it malfunctions, then people say, oh, what about AI? We can make AI to be able to program it. That means you have to program that AI to program the other. It needs to be a human, you dumb motherfucker, at the first starting point. You can't just have an AI just start making shit. That doesn't make any fucking sense. There has to be human intervention somewhere in the process of the fucking robot. Was there a robot here before you fucking were in? Was there a robot here before humans? No, there was a human here and that made the robot, dummy. So if that's the case, there has to be human intervention within the whole process of if the robot's doing work and who's charging the robot. Even if you have another robot, charge another robot. There has to be a human that programs that second robot to charge the other robot. So it always has to be a human. If there's no human, there's no robot. If they look at it like this, if there's no fucking human being, a robot wouldn't even need to exist. The only reason a robot or artificial intelligence exists is because human beings are trying to be more comfortable. So the whole concept of a human being wanting to be more comfortable and not wanting to do work, that's where robots come from. It doesn't come from nothing else. It's not something that's needed. It's not something that's natural. It comes from a human being that's lazy. That's where robotics come from. Human beings that are lazy. They don't want to do the work. Or you can say they want to. Let's just say you don't want to say lazy because that's kind of too broad. Some things you can say it could save time, but it's about human being. Because most of the time, if you look at it, a lot of the things that robots do are useless. Making fast food. Why you fucking need to eat fast food? If we live in a society of people who only ate once a day, would you need to invest that much money and technology into robots? making food? No, we'll just go pick our food from the fucking trees and eat what we can eat and move on. It's not that serious. You have a robot chef, a robot that makes video games, and like, who the fuck, you don't need a video game. So a lot of these things that robots make, they're not even really, you don't need them. Or you have a chat bot so you can talk to women or a female and it's an AI. But why the fuck would you need that if you could talk to a real woman? But yet you'll say, well, because of feminism. So okay, a man created feminism. So all of it is just man-made issues, and then they use robots to fill in what the man-made issue is. So even if they have a sex bot or an AI chat bot, it's because of a man-made situation in society that caused certain men and women to be retarded so they don't fuck with each other. So now you need a fake ass robot. With the food, like same thing. Hold on, give me a minute, guys. Be right back. What's good with it? All right, so what is it? My situation reflects how. Okay, yeah, that's how a lot of motherfuckers are. Like a lot of people, they have discipline issues, but it's something that we just got to get out of. Like people got to get out of. It's really not that hard, really. It's just like it's a drug. Everyone's addicted to that drug of being comfortable. Like like when you look, even when you look at people on drugs, man, like everyone's a drug addict. Everyone's addicted to comfort, and that's all it is. Who the fuck keep doing that shit? That stupid thumbs down shit. At one point, I ended up missing opportunity because I was overwhelmed. I'm sure it's open because I spoke your insight. Yeah, yeah, dude, like you don't gotta I feel you. You don't have to worry about misrepresenting yourself. I see I see where you're coming from. You don't need to like. I don't want to feel like I'm a type of motherfucker like you got to walk on eggshells and you can't say like I don't really give a fuck about a lot of this shit. Like I hate people. Like if I feel like I got to walk on eggshells around you, I don't like that. Like I just I just have a lot of passion when I talk. I really don't give a fuck what you do, and I'm not like that. I just don't like degenerate fucking people. And when I say degenerate people, I'm speaking like people that because I could tell a motherfucker that's degenerate and somebody who's trying. You seem like somebody who's actually trying to try. There's people out here who even like my age, I see they just giving up on life. They just retarded. Like they just believe in dumb shit. Like talking about just the latest vlog and what's going on in reality and religion and just stupid shit. When I see a person just kicking that type of shit, that's a person I stay away from. That's a demon right there. I don't even like to use the word demon because that's demon is religion, is religious. So I don't like that word at all. Like I hate that word because it's like it's religious. But like it's just I just call them they're a piece of shit person. Like that's my version of demon, like a piece of shit. Like I don't like piece of shit people. Because even when you call somebody a demon, like you're saying you're giving them like because a demon's supposed to cause chaos in one's life. Ain't nobody had that much power to cause chaos in my fucking life, nigga. Like, and if you cause too much chaos, it's gotta come right back at you. So I don't even like to call people demon because you ain't even causing chaos. You're just annoying. You're a piece of shit. That's like 99% of people. A demon, if you want to say it, or a person like that energy is somebody out here just killing people out here. And even then, like they're not shit, but they're actually a threat. Like they're actually doing some shit. Go fucking set some C4 up in my fucking house and blow that shit up. that's a fucking like crazy motherfucker. But I'm talking like the average person, that's not no demon. I'm not giving nobody like that fucking badge of, oh, you're a demon. You ain't doing shit to me. You're just annoying the fuck out of me. You're a piece of shit and you're fucking annoying. Like that's how I call it. And I'm gonna drop the link again if anybody wants to join. Yeah. I was just thinking about something real quick, but I'll tell you guys. I was gonna say something, but I'll tell you guys about it later. There's certain things. I don't really want to say certain things right now. Yeah, but if anybody got any more questions, I don't know. I'm done. Really, I'm not really gonna be. I don't even mean to go this deep when I make my videos. I just come on just to talk to you and just take it easy. But like this is just me. Like I just like when I speak like this, I just usually just get in a trance. I just start talking. I don't like plan this shit out. That's why you niggas never see me write nothing down. And you never see me look on a piece of paper and write nothing down because I never plan on this. I never took this shit serious where I come on here. Just I'm when I talk, I just talk. I just it just happened to just preach and just I just like to talk and shit. Like that's not, like I like to like just no, I don't like to talk really. Because if I'm around a bunch of idiots, I don't really like to speak too much to be honest. Like certain people, I don't even really say that's another thing. Like what when I'm around certain people, I don't even be speaking no knowledge or nothing to people. That's why I can't be around piece of shit people because if I'm around somebody and I because not everybody's meant to have certain knowledge and information. Some people they're not receptive. Some people are just straight up degenerate, and then they will it would just like they will make you feel like why am I even talking to this person? I'm wasting my time. Like I feel stupid. Like have you ever felt dumb talking intelligent to somebody dumb? It's like you see somebody that's so stupid when you start talking intelligent to these niggas, it makes you feel like you're dumb for even trying. That's how I be feeling with a lot of motherfuckers. That's why I don't even talk to people no more like that. I don't even. And that's the thing. When I'm around a motherfucker, I feel that type of energy. I can't be around that shit. Like I can't be around that shit. Like it just, I don't know, man. Like it's very hard for me to relate to people in this world. It's very hard. That's why I'm so glad I have my moon in Aries. Cause like by default, naturally, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. So it like makes me not really give a fuck. Like I just can't because I'm like this world we live in is so dumb. Like at one point I used to believe that people were waking up. You know how all those chosen ones would be like, the world's waking up. We're a chosen one, and it's like there's not that many chosen ones out there. Even if you were to say there's 1,000 chosen one, that's too many. There's not even that many people that are like really aware. Like there's not like this. A lot of like it just a lot of that shit is it's fake. Fake views, fake comments, all that. Oh, people are waking up, and all that. That's not what it is. What's going on is we have social media here, and there's an influx of people on social media because this is like a new thing. And when I say that, don't make it look like everything on social media people take serious, because you got to understand, like, just because you see a video with 20,000 views doesn't mean that a lot of people are fucking with it. Most people that are on social media in 2025 is because they have to. And I don't want to say have to, it's because they have nothing else to do. Because people go to work, they come home. So if you're not doing anything productive in your life, if you don't have any goals, if you're not doing nothing, you have nothing else to do but to scroll on your phone. By default, you'll catch yourself scrolling if you don't got nothing productive and going on in your life. And a lot of people, they don't. So when you see people on social media watching videos, even when you see people watching MGTOW, nobody really gives a fuck about MGTOW like that. It's just a bunch of people who are just bored in their life, and then they're watching this to cope with the bitch who just left them, or their miserable existence and how they can't pay rent. So then they watch other shit, but deep down they don't really give a fuck about any of that crap. They don't. So you gotta understand, like, most people are just fucking like lost in this shit. Cause social media is dying. It's slowly but surely is dying. It's not really what it was before. You guys may think that, oh no, it's not. People are trying to make, no, people are trying to get on social media so they can try to make a living and get lit off of it so they can not have to work and make money making videos. There's a difference. Nobody actually genuinely gives a fuck about social media. People are just gravitating to it as a way to get lit so they can try to not be. And you're not getting lit on social media now unless you're like being used. Like, they're not gonna hire you at McDonald's if you don't know how to do any of the position. If you don't know how to wash the toilets, if you don't know how to flip burgers, if you don't know how to if you don't know how to do anything at McDonald's, they're not gonna hire you. So YouTube is a corporation. They're gonna only pay you if you have something to offer what they want. So if you're not a puppet, if you're not a person who can be used as a distraction, if you're not somebody that they can be used in what they're trying to promote, they're not gonna pay you any money. This is why you see a lot of these stupid niggas. They'll get like 10,000. Like, what it is, yo. This is what happens. Like, there'll be a lot of people who get on YouTube, right? Then they'll talk about Donald Trump giving out stimulus. Then their video will get 10,000 views. But the reason it got 10,000 views is because of what they were talking about. Like, an example, this is one nigga. He made a channel back in May, and he was on my timeline, and he lived in my area when I was living in California. So I looked at his channel. He had like 50,000 views on his first video, and in his first like month, he was like at 1,000, 5,000 views per video, and he was talking about how he was going to be homeless. After all of that, I probably like about like 4 or 5 months later, he wasn't homeless, and then something happened where he wasn't homeless, and he just started talking about regular shit in his life. His views went down to like 100 views per video. But you can kind of tell by the way he talks, and even like nowadays, today when I watch his video, you can tell by the way he talks and acts, he still thinks he's gonna get lit. Like, he'll talk a certain way, he'll make his thumbnails all like a certain way, and I'm like you could just tell like it's not real, like he's trying to be fake, but it's like it's not, and he's thinking like, I was lit before, so I can be lit now. I just gotta because I like, so he like his ego. They play with your ego with the numbers. So he still thinks he can get lit. So you got thousands of people that are never gonna get lit, trying so hard to get lit. So every video he makes now gets like 100, 200 views, not even that many views, and well, compared to what he had before. And the way he talks and acts is like he's somebody with like 10,000 views. But yeah, the only reason people act and talk like that is because they're in they're in the algorithm, and the reason they're in the algorithm is because they're being used for a purpose. Like, YouTube's able to see them. They're talking about something, because he doesn't talk about the same shit he was talking about. Like, he was trying to promote homelessness, like, because like they want to promote homelessness and van life and all that shit. So if you get yourself a van and start talking about van life, they'll probably put you in the algorithm because they want to promote shit like that because it's part of their agenda to like want to get people to not be to just not really do shit. You see what I'm saying? Like they're just trying to. I don't know why they would want to do that because if everybody's homeless, then how the fuck are they gonna make money? So I don't know why the fuck they would want to promote that, but I guess that's one of the things that they're trying to promote. That's what I'm saying. The system's retarded. Like they just go against everything that they stand for. Like you would think, but he doesn't talk about it no more. And you can see how that he just his views gone down. His fucking just everything. So everyone's just trying to get lit off this, and a lot of people they don't know. Like a lot of people are gonna end up wasting their whole life and their whole time just trying to get lit. Like I come on here, I just like to come on here to make like somebody left the comments like, "Oh, you haven't went live in 2 days, lazy ass nigga." It was somebody who left a comment, and I'm not like hating on the comment. It's just like I don't take this shit serious. Like I don't need to come on here every day. I'm not getting paid. I like you. A lot of you guys don't understand. YouTube is not paying me. And you guys say, well, it's not about the money. It's not about, you're right. It isn't about the money. But at the same time, if I don't feel like going live, I'm not fucking going live. Plain and simple. You see what I'm saying? If I was getting paid and I didn't feel like going live and I was getting $5,000 per video, I'll go live even though I didn't feel like it because that's $5,000 per video. I'm not getting paid that amount of money. So why the fuck am I going to go live when I don't feel like going live? I don't need to, I don't have, this is not a, I don't have a, this is not like an agenda for me. This is not like, oh, a deadline I'm supposed to meet or a routine I need to keep up with. Like every Monday through Friday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm going, I don't fucking do that shit. That's some shit you hear people say who get paid from YouTube. Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays, catch me every day. Like they have a certain day. Like this ain't no fucking show on Nickelodeon. Every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm going live and like fuck out of here. I'm not doing that. I go live when I'm not hating on the dude who left the comment. Like I don't like. He just thought I'm not that type of person. I just go live whenever the fuck I feel like going live. I might not even go live for a few months or a year. I don't know. One day. I just go. I just go live when I'm bored. That's my favorite noise. It's like that cash register sound. Every time you get like a sell on eBay, it's like a cash register sound. It's not my favorite noise, but yeah. Yeah. Damn, man. This shit's fucking annoying. Hold on, give me a minute. Oh, no, I'm gonna just do it like this. Yeah, I felt that way at Thanksgiving. I didn't even celebrate Thanksgiving. I didn't even eat shit. I hate Thanksgiving food. I didn't even eat any of that shit. Yeah. I don't even like Thanksgiving food at all. It's fucking disgusting. I used to eat it like when I was probably last time I ate Thanksgiving was probably like 2016. No, probably 2017 is when I last time I really ate Thanksgiving food and enjoyed it. Like 2017, probably 2018. Cause that's when I was really like, but I haven't ate that shit in like years. Yeah. I don't know why I go live. My nose be itching. It don't be itching, but it just be like it doesn't itch, but it's like a fucking like I just like I don't know what it is. It's probably like a tick because I used to have like Tourette's and ticks when I was hella young, and It used to be extremely bad. Like I used to just be like always like humming and saying shit, and like it even used to be bad. Like after I like once I did yoga, like I said, the yoga, that's when a lot of my issues just went away. Like in terms of like the ticks, the headaches, the severe depression, all of that shit went away. So I remember like January 2021, I had a major headache for no reason. It was like a constant headache, and I had that shit for so long. I got used to it. I got used to the headache. So like I remember like in February I started doing yoga, and then the headaches were still there for like the next 2 years. But I remember like probably like 2 years after I started doing yoga, I'll probably say 3 years after. That's when like I didn't even notice the headaches anymore. Like they were just gone. But then even building up to that point, the headache slowly was diminishing. Like the pressure on my head was lighter and lighter until like it just wasn't there. Like I still got to do my stretch tonight, my neck stretch tonight. I haven't done it, but yeah, I noticed though, like as I keep doing, like every month, I notice there's changes to my appetite. Every month, like remember I told you guys like only thing I eat were the organic chicken and those organic fries. I think the spirit didn't want me eating those French fries because I got a bag of those French fries like 2 days ago, right? And I opened up the bag and it had a weird like a weird odor to it, like it smelled like some dirty laundry. And I'm thinking like, and I opened up like two more other bags. So I had 3 bags, and they all smelled like that. And the other bags that I got like a week ago, and I had a bag a few days prior, and I didn't smell it. So I think the spirit, it created a certain nasal scent for me to smell. Like it didn't want me eating that food. Every time the spirit doesn't want me to eat something, it will make it smell weird. It will taste weird, or I'll even sometimes have a dream where like something will happen and I don't even want to eat the food no more. Like I used to eat these gummy bears. I didn't, and I guess I was supposed to eat it. I had a dream, and it was like a disgusting dream, and those gummy bears was involved in the dream, and something disgusting was happening, and those gummy bears was involved in the situation that was happening. And ever since that dream, I never ever wanted to eat those gummy bears again, because every time I ate those gummy bears, it would remind me of that dream, and like something nasty was happening, and those gummy bears was involved in the situation. It was just weird. So I stopped eating it, and then like there'd be times I just the what's it called, the French fries. It didn't smell right. That shit stunk. It smelled hella bad. And like I was eating that shit like every day, because those organic fries and the organic chicken was the only thing I could eat, literally, besides fruit and shit. And even the fruit, like I was showing you guys the watermelons. Like all summer I was eating watermelons. I was literally eating watermelons every fucking day throughout the summer. Every single day throughout the summer I would get a watermelon. You remember I sent you I showed the pictures of the water. I was going to store every day, like around August, right before watermelon season ended. I remember I got some watermelon and it fucking tore up my stomach. Like I had to make myself throw up because I didn't want that shit sitting in my stomach. And it was a watermelon. And like even like a month ago, I ate an apple. It was an organic apple, and I got sick. Like it wasn't like the apple was bad or nothing. It was like the spirit doesn't. I don't think I'm supposed to be eating that shit. That's why like I just like at this point the only thing I eat right now is organic chicken. Like it is. That's why I don't even waste my money on food anymore, because there's literally no point. It's a waste of money because I don't even know. I don't even know why like I need to even eat anymore. So why am I gonna, and like most of the food I eat, I don't even really enjoy. And I know I'm not supposed to be eating. I know I'm not. That's why I don't even waste my money on food, because I don't even eat that much. So like why would I waste my money on food? Like if I was in a situation where I was in jail and all I had to eat was that crap, I would just have to just fast. I wouldn't be able to eat in there. Like I have to fast for at least 10 days minimum at a time. And then by the time I do eat, I'll probably be able to eat whatever is there, because like I just got off the fast, and I just eat that to And eventually I probably won't even need to eat none because in about like 2, 3 years, I won't be eating shit. You guys will see. I'll tell you guys. I'll show you. Well, no one will ever believe me because you have to be around me 24/7. But like, it's gonna give. I give it about 2 or 3 years. I won't need to eat nothing because at this point, I literally can't even eat shit. Like, and it's not when I say can't. It's not like. It's like for example, like I cooked like some rice and some chicken the other day, and the rice and chicken was good, like the jollof rice. And then I had an apple as like an appetizer. You know how there's an appetizer before you eat. I can't even eat an appetizer no more because I ate an apple and I didn't even feel like I didn't eat nothing all day. So at the end of the day, I ate an apple, and then I was about to after I was done cooking my chicken and rice. Tell me why after I ate that apple, I didn't even feel like eating that chicken and rice. Like it's to a point where if I want to eat something, I can't eat nothing because if I plan on eating a big meal and I have a snack, even if it's just a handful of chips, I will be full and I won't even be able to enjoy my meal at the end of the day because a little bit of food will be enough to sustain me. So if I want to have a big meal, I can't even eat like an apple because the apple's gonna make me full. So by the time I eat the big meal, I won't even be able to enjoy it because like I have so much energy running through my spine. It's not enough though because the knot is still there. But once the energy fully unlocks, I'm not gonna need to consume food. Like even when I go on my fast, I can go on a 7 day fast without water or food now. Back in May, I can only go like 3 days without water and food, and it was getting hard. I was able to do water fast, but um, with no water and food, it was like 3 days. Now I can go 7 days and I can do it. But this back in August is when I was able to do my 7 day water fast or my 7 day dry fast, like it was nothing. But like in May, I remember every month the energy's building. And a year ago, I wasn't even able. I remember I did like a 2 day water fast, and I was like, it was a water fast. This wasn't even a dry fast, and I was kind of struggling. But nowadays, it's like that's just easy. He's like, hey, do you feel a ting? Sometimes, not all the time, but I do sometimes. That's just that's just your way of feeling the energy. Everyone feels the energy a lot differently. The way I feel the energy in my spine, at least at this point right now, I feel it through mainly like me not needing to consume as much, the way I think, the way I can perceive, like the way I feel, the way I can hear more clear, I can see more clear. Um, like when I did my 12 day fast, like a month or a few months ago. No, I did a 6 day fast. Then before I did a 12 day fast, it was a water. It was like half water, half dry. Like everything felt weird. Like it felt. I had my senses back because remember I told you back in 2019 I had the infection. So like back in 2019, like I was like I'm trying. Let me just break it down. I'm trying to break it down where it doesn't sound weird. Try to break it down in reality. It's like I was like my blood was infected in 2019 from the bacteria. So my sight, my hearing, anything with my nervous system was affected. So like as I was doing the yoga and the fasting, it cleansed that up. But it wasn't overnight. It was a gradual process. So like I said, probably like 2023 or 2022 is when I started actually clearing up the process where I was back to myself. So 2022 was actually when I actually started feeling back to my regular self. And like now I'm feeling it a lot more. And so like I'm at a point when I do like a fast over like 7, 8 days, everything feels like it remind like I start smelling certain scents and things start feeling different. Like I was wearing my sandals and I could feel the cushion in my sandals a lot more and even still I do now because I've cleansed a lot of the shit that was in my blood, like from the thing. So I'm able to feel what I hadn't felt in years because of the infection. So I'm able to smell certain things, see things. That's why I have so much knowledge and information It's not that like I do research or nothing. It's because I'm already an intelligent, smart being. It just the spirit like it blocks my knowledge and my capacity. Like I'm not even at like 50. I'm not even at like 80% of like who I am. Like that's what I'm saying. Like because like this is why I know so much shit. It's not that it's like because it's already in me. Like I'm already like just like once the energy comes through me, I don't need to eat. It's the same with the knowledge with everything. Like I already know everything and I know what I need to do. It's just this infection that I got in 2019. The more I clean, when I completely cleanse it 100%, then I'm gonna know and be everything I already am. Like you see, it's like that. Like everything's already within me. Like you got other people out here, they gotta do research, they gotta learn, or they don't have the problems I have, but I'm still more smarter than them. So it's like there's a lot of people like they don't even have the issues I had, and I'm still more smarter than them. I don't even read as many books as them. They went to college and they know all this dumbass shit. And then, well, you're like that bitch said I'm uneducated. Bitch, I'm more smarter than you. So you're educated. What college you go to? And you're still a degenerate because don't even tell me you went to a college and you're in debt and you don't even make at least 100,000 a year, and that ain't even that much. You idiot. Like people are just retarded, man. That's why I don't even really fuck with motherfuckers now. Yeah, that means you got the energy flowing through you. I mean, that's good. I mean, you got that energy flowing through you. You're building that. Just keep it up and just keep having that energy flow through you. Like me, my spine, like my neck, where my neck and like this part of the neck right here, it's a knot. But the knot is like it's smaller. Like you get like when I first started doing yoga back in 2021, the knot was so big. My muscles were swollen. Like my muscle, this was all swollen. I'm gonna show you a picture, probably my old videos of how I look. Like my neck was swollen. Um, my mind was. I just felt like a different person than I do now. But the funny thing is, it's hard for me to remember how I felt. Like I have to really think and go deep and thought to kind of remember like how I felt back in 2021. I don't remember really because it was it's like I was a different person. Like I'm gonna unprivate the videos like cause I probably even look through like a lot of my old videos. And I remember that shit. I don't remember. I barely remember like how I was looking, but how I was like. But I remember like I had headaches. I was, and the funny thing is, the closer I get to when I started doing yoga, the more I was able to eat. I used to just gorge on so much food. I remember I used to just eat like I used to eat Dollar Tree shit. I used to go to the Dollar Tree and eat the canned chili. Like I can't imagine if I ate that shit now, man. I'd probably be fucking. I cannot even eat. I don't even know how I was even eating a lot of that shit. I was eating ramen noodle, and I would actually like be full off that shit and satisfied. Like now, I can't eat that crap. There was a video guy who filmed. It probably can. To be honest, I really don't give a fuck about levitating or anything like that. I'm pretty. I'm not saying you can levitate and do all that, but that's not my main thing. I really can care. Like my main thing is just doing what I gotta do to be in alignment with self. And if that comes with it, then that comes with it. But that's not my goal. I've never really gave a fuck about levitating and doing all this flying and all that. I've never cared about shit like that really. That's just me. And there's nothing wrong with people who do that. I don't say that as in like, cause just because I say something I don't care about doing it doesn't mean there's something wrong with it. It's just personally I don't give a fuck about it. But I just care about things that are gonna like benefit my life and gonna get me to the next level. And if that happens where I can levitate and do all that, then that's gonna be something I do once I'm done with all the other shit I'm doing. It's not like my main life goal. Like you see, especially with these breatharians, man, like they be making it their main goal to like do all this extra shit. Like if anything, I would rather have it like because everyone talks about levitating and all this, but nobody talks about having the energy to be able to walk hundreds of miles and not get tired, barely need to sleep. That shit you get when you get your energy up, you're able to walk hundreds of miles, like without fucking really getting tired, sleeping for only an hour. That's really when you get your energy up. You being able to think really quick, fast, and just the things you can do as a regular person, but you're doing it, you're able to do it even greater. Like that's stuff that I could benefit from in real life. Me levitating, I can't really benefit really off that unless you want to say you gotta go, I don't know, like make money off of it, join this fucking circus or something. I don't know. But like when you have a lot of energy, you don't even need to sleep that much. You probably sleep for like an hour a day. Some people don't even sleep when you get to that high level, but yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I gotta be careful this week though. There's a lot of alignments coming this month. December is gonna be, I don't know, man. Like I'm just looking at the astrology, and I gotta be really on my shit this month because the way I'm looking at December, as it pertains to me, it's a lot of potential for a lot of bullshit to happen. So this month I gotta be really cautious and um I gotta take it easy. I'm not gonna really be doing too much this month. Just when I say do too much, I'm gonna do what I like. Obviously, do what you gotta do, but not you don't need to be. I don't. At least for me personally, because there's a lot of squares and a lot of alignments that are happening for me this month. Like, have you guys ever wondered like there been times in your life where like a whole bunch of bad shit happens to you in a short period of time, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like that's probably because you had a certain astrological alignment squared up your chart and you got all these placements, so that's why things start happening. Like pretty much that's the type of month December looks like it's gonna be. That's why I gotta be more careful. Usually around this time of year, like some of the worst depression and the more like the most like crazy shit I've done, even I went to jail, was around this time of year. That's why I gotta be careful around this season. And like when I look at the fucking astrology, I see like a lot of shit playing out, but I don't look at it as a negative. I look at it like to see that when I see all of this negative shit, it doesn't put fear into me. It makes me feel like okay, because I want to tell you guys this so you guys can know what to do. When you're in a situation like this, what you need to do is do something that's gonna take extreme discipline and like whatever do something that's going to be in alignment with you and do something that's going to take extreme discipline, something that you need to be doing, so therefore the negative energy can play out positive. So let's just say you have a bunch of squares and oppositions and in conjunctions. A dumbass astrologer will tell you, oh, something bad's going to happen. So something bad's going to happen, make it a good bad thing. So go on a 50-day fast. So if let's just say Mars is going to be squaring Saturn, Mars squares Saturn. Mars is having to do with drive, ambition. Saturn is having to do with lessons and karma. Mars and Saturn, they don't like each other because Mars is quick, Saturn is slow. So you're gonna feel really impatient with Mars square Saturn. So And not only that, you're gonna feel like whatever you want to do is gonna be like is gonna be like an obstacle. Like you can't do what you want to do because you want to hurry up. But then Saturn's like, well, you should have done it earlier, so we're gonna slow it down for you. So when you see something like that, you don't be lazy and not do it, because if you be lazy and you don't do it, then you're playing into the energy. So now Saturn's gonna create a situation. So this is where you probably end up getting into an argument, get into a fight. You probably get kicked out of the house you're staying at, and then and it happened around this alignment because you weren't using it constructively. Whereas if you use it constructively, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go on a 10-day fast during this alignment. So therefore, you're using that negative energy of Mars and Saturn squaring. It's gonna be that energy is gonna go towards you feeling like you don't want to fast and you feeling the pain from fasting. So the pain that you get from fasting, that's where the energy is going to play out. That's good pain. But if you were to say, I'm not going to fast, I'm just going to be lazy, the pain is going to play out and you probably getting into a fight, an argument. Somebody probably, you just getting in a bad depressive mood. All of a sudden you get depressed for no reason. You start fucking, or maybe you were doing something, you break up with some bitch or what. It's going to be something that's going to be against. So you want to, when you have a negative opposition or a square, make it something, do something you don't want to do. So therefore the negative thing can play out through that. Like if you have to go and if you know you have to go be like, for example, discipline. A lot of you guys don't like to be disciplined. That's the best time to actually do something really disciplined, is because that pain that you feel from being disciplined is gonna take the spot for that negative transit. Versus if you just being lazy, you're letting the universe choose the negative situation that's gonna happen to you. You want to be able to choose it, and you see what I'm saying? Like, you guys get what I'm saying? Like, don't look at negative squares like it's something like you got to run from, or even like Mercury retrograde. People say, "Oh, Mercury retrograde means you don't want to do anything." That doesn't mean you don't do anything. It means you don't do certain things, and even then, depending on what it is, you may need to do it. But there's always something you need to be doing. There's never not anything you need to be doing. Like, there's only, doesn't matter what time of year it is. There's always something you could be doing. There's never a time you just sitting not doing shit. There's just certain time of the year, certain things you probably shouldn't be doing, certain things you probably should, but there's never a time you shouldn't do nothing completely. But yeah, I gotta watch out for this month though, cause this month I gotta yeah, I see a lot of like, yeah. Yeah. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, it was good, everyone. Yeah, I'm just. But man, it's crazy how tomorrow it's the last month of the year. In a month from now, it's gonna be fucking dumbass New Year's. About to be dumbass New Year's, and then the end of the month. That's crazy. It felt like yesterday, because yesterday, no, like it felt like yesterday. I was just, because remember the beginning of this year, I was, damn, that's crazy how this year went by hella quick. It literally felt like yesterday was like January, because I remember when the police almost got me. Well, I was at the library, and some stupid ass bitch they called the police on my car because it was parked in a certain area. And then the police came. I had a warrant, so that's why I was tripping. And then that bitch called the police saying, "So you're not supposed to park." I don't think the police did. They knew I had the warrant, but I don't think they just took me. They just let me go. I think because they didn't even ask me about the warrant or nothing. And I seen them. They were like looking at my plate and shit. So I know they ran it. But it's crazy, dude. Like it's fucking crazy how fast this damn year went. This year went by extremely fucking fast. And next year's gonna go by even faster, guys. So that's what I'm saying. The year is gonna go by even faster. Like so, however fast you think this year went, next year's gonna go crazy. I can't believe New Year's is gonna be like 30 days. And once New Year's gone, it's gonna be um they're gonna be back in January. The New Year doesn't start till March, so remember that. So you're not gonna everything's still gonna feel the same. Once we get to like Aquarius season, the end of Aquarius, Pisces, that's when you're gonna start seeing shit gonna be start being different. Next year though is gonna be a whole different year, guys. Like I said, next year is gonna be it's gonna be like 2025. This was like the last year of this final 1 through 9 cycle. This is the ninth year. So this is the closure. So don't you feel like this year was like a closure? A lot of shit came to an end. Even in your life collectively, like this is why everyone's saying the world, the shit, it's because it's to an end. Next year is gonna be a new beginning. So next year is gonna be something completely different. It's not gonna be no um like whatever what was this year. It's not gonna be like the last 8. It's gonna be completely different chapter next year. So if you didn't get it right now, next year there's not going to be really no time to be talking about like if you didn't get it right now, next year if you have to get it right, you got to have to do it on your own. There's not going to be the energy is not going to be about teaching. It's not going to be about less shadow work. You should have been done shadow work. You should have been learned. But that's why I said don't talk to me about no spirituality. Not to throw no shade at the dude. I respect, but I just don't ask somebody else that because I'm not really in that mood to really talk spiritual because I'm really trying to do things like that's gonna bring shit physically, and because everything that's spiritual, I'm already doing. That's already done for me, so I don't need to really be speaking on something that doesn't need to be explained for me. If it needs to be explained, you need to go somewhere else. Because next year it's not gonna ain't gonna all that spiritual, all that learning and all that shit is done. Not to say you're not gonna be able to do it, but you're gonna have to do it on your own in your own time because ain't nobody gonna be catering to that. And anybody catering to that are gonna be people who are just trying to make money off of it or people who didn't do what they were supposed to do. Because next year it's like the training wheels is off. Everybody has to do what they supposed. It's not gonna be no um what do we do now and ritual this and learn about ourselves and shadow work is not to say that won't be here, but it's not gonna be like the main focus no more. It's gonna be what are we doing? Even if you're like a bum and you're homeless, it's gonna be what are you doing on how good are you going to be homeless? Like, you see what I'm saying? If you're a crackhead, how good are you going to be getting drugs? If you're into spirituality or into doing yourself, whatever you're doing, it's going to be, you got to go in on that. There's nothing else. Because we're in a new chapter. Like, you're going to start seeing more crazy people, more people going insane, more insanity. Like, whatever you've seen this year is going to be worse next year. And I'm speaking collectively. I don't want to say everybody, because some people are going to be living, thriving, living good lives. I don't want to be like the type of person, oh, everybody's doomed, but we got to speak reality. Most of the collective is lost, stupid. When you walk outside, you're seeing most of the collective. So we got to speak reality. I don't like to push this doomer shit, but it is the truth. Most people are fucking up. And then even Rob D said, Black Friday, even what Rob D said, Black Friday's dead. Folks out here still fighting over T. It is dead, but like I said, you don't want to be too lost on social media. Remember I told you, social media, they always talk about everybody's broke, nobody has money. That's not reality. Like, don't get me wrong, everybody ain't rich and everybody ain't broke. People are just people. Some people are rich, some people got money, some people don't. Social media tries to sell you that everybody's broke, nobody has money, because they need to make you believe why it's okay for them to keep stealing taxes. So instead of you worrying about why everybody's broke, which is because even if you want to say why, if America and if the people are broke, it has to do with them increasing taxes. Like, you're only broke if you don't have money. Where the fuck is the money going? If people had money back in the 90s and the 80s, like everyone said, but then now nobody has money, where the fuck is the money going? Oh, we got to go spend more money on this and that. Where is that extra money going? It's going to the government. So they need you to think that everyone's broke so they can keep making more laws and taxes, and so they can still keep stealing money from people. That's all it really is. But if you go in reality, yeah, people are struggling. Don't get me wrong, but it's nowhere. It's not like how they try to make you think it is. Because they need to make you think that it's normal to be broke. It's normal to not have money. It's normal to struggle. They want you to believe that so you can stay in that position and they can keep draining people and capitalizing off people suffering. Which doesn't really make sense, because eventually, like, they need the people to make money. So if no one's participating in the system, then they're gonna eventually go broke. But it's not what you guys think. Like, social media is all a scam. Remember, I told you, don't worry about what's on social media, because it's all bull. Like, they even have you to believe like relationships are not a thing of the past. That's bullshit. Only in America. You go to Africa, go to some places in Southeast Asia, go to South America. They don't have the same relationship problems as they do in America. When they talk about all that relationship shit, that's only in America. That's mainly in like Western countries like UK, Australia, Canada, like fucking degenerate places like that with fucked up thinking. Those are the only places having those problems. Go to any other place that's not a Western country. They don't have the problems like they do with relationships and women. That's some Western shit, like America, Australia, Canada, UK. And America is at the forefront of that shit. But other countries don't have those fucking incel problems and feminist problems. That's a Western and American thing. Even with the finance shit. Don't get me wrong, people are struggling, but it ain't like what you think it is. They make you think people are broke and don't have no fucking money. If that's the case, then how the fuck are there still billionaires? Because if everyone's broke like they say it is, there shouldn't be billionaires. Because how the fuck is a billionaire getting their money? Who the fuck? How is Microsoft able to make? How is the CEO of Microsoft making over $50 billion a year? If Microsoft wasn't making money, then nobody would be paying into Microsoft to even pay their CEO. Their stock market would be like at zero. So who's buying Microsoft product? Obviously, people are buying. Even when you go to let's just say McDonald's, they probably have an operating system to run their point of sale transaction. They probably use Microsoft in their computers. So they're paying Microsoft, McDonald's, or any company uses a computer. And if nobody's buying shit at that company, then they won't even waste money to buy the operating system. So it's like there will be no billionaires, there'll be no rich people if if the world was as broke as what they want you to think it is. People have money. They say, "Oh, America's broke. People are broke." Bitch, how the fuck people are broke if you gotta pay rent every month? You gotta pay a cell phone bill every month. You gotta pay for food every month. Whoever owns the rent place, or whoever owns the food place, the grocery store, and whoever owns AT&T, the telecommunication center where you gotta pay for your internet, your data, they're rich, bitch. Your money's going to them. The fuck? Talk about people are broke, but yet you got billionaires. That means people aren't broke, bitch. They can't. You can't even have a billion. A billionaire wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for um the labor and the people. Like a billionaire wouldn't even. The only reason a billionaire exists is because people are working and paying somebody. You're paying taxes and paying bills. How the fuck can you make $1 billion doing something completely legit and honest? That's impossible. You can't make $1 billion doing something completely legit and honest. Why do you think all the billionaires are people that scam? They just do it in a way where it may not be illegal, but they're scamming people. And then they say, but people say, why is everybody saying Black Friday's dead and stuff? But it's funny how people are surprised that people are buying stuff on Black Friday. But I don't know about you, but throughout this whole year, I've heard while being on social media, I've heard nothing but people bitch and complain about the price of gas, groceries, and goods and services. So if Black Friday is a holiday where all the prices of goods and services is cheaper, wouldn't it make sense for it to be people to be buying shit because everyone's getting cheaper shit? That's just what I'm saying. Like, isn't this supposed to be? Isn't this supposed to be the day or the week everything's the cheapest of the year? But then this whole year, everybody's complaining about the price of goods and groceries and inflation. So if things are cheaper, you would think people want to go get those cheap goods. So I don't know why people would be surprised for it to like. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end this live, guys. I'll probably be back on tomorrow, or I'll go. I'll be back on not tomorrow, but the day. What's the day after tomorrow? Tuesday. I'll be on Tuesday. I'll probably be on Tuesday morning because I don't got shit to do on Tuesday. I gotta go do some shit tomorrow. I'll probably be on Tuesday, and there's something, and yeah, I'm probably gonna do another one of my troll videos. Just start calling out motherfuckers, exposing people, just cause I feel like it. I like doing shit like that. It's funny. I give a fuck about this stupid YouTube shit no more. Like I even said, like I might turn my channel to a troll channel. Just start trolling motherfuckers and exposing stupid ass degenerate shit. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Yeah, I'm most definitely gonna do that. I'm gonna start trolling shit. Yeah. But I'm gonna hit you guys up a little later, man. I'm out.